So today I'm going to show you how to make a macrame little wall hanging thing so that you can wrap it around a styrofoam ball, get that nice and hard so that when you take the styrofoam out, it will make a little Christmas ornament.
Wait, how'd you get the styrofoam out of there?
Dude, I don't know. Huge thank you to Privacy for sponsoring this video. So I made a couple different decorations. This tree I wasn't super stoked about, so I turned it into another one of these little ornaments. And the white was really cool because one, I didn't have to make that doily, and then two, when the styrofoam melts, it left a residue that you couldn't see on the white. So I actually got the idea to make Christmas ornaments from my last video where I did the same thing but I made a skull. I'll put a link at the end of the video if you want to check that out. And for this project I used a lot of super glue and accelerator. So first thing we're going to do is tape down this dowel, and we're going to make a little macrame wall hanging thing on there. I want it to be as long as the snowman, so I just make it 8 times as long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. And then start making a little macrame wall hanging weave. Using the... honestly, I made a video on how to do this, and I've already forgotten some of the names of the knots, so that's cool. Alternating square knot, that's the one. So I do an alternating square knot. It makes that cute little pattern, and hopefully we can make that into a 3D object, this snowman. So first thing I do is wrap it around, and I'm going to kind of get the little tight points and super glue those together first using the super glue and the accelerator. The accelerator just makes the super glue set quicker, which is good because super glue actually melts styrofoam. So then we'll make a cute little butthole right there on top of the head. And we'll have like a seam going down the back, so I just cut off the excess and figure out how short to do it so that the seam kind of butts up against each other. A lot of butts. And then super glue it, and it should work. So yeah, just a lot of super glue, a lot of cutting, getting out all the excess macrame. There on the bottom, same idea, got rid of the excess so that I could bunch it together. I want it to sit flat, so I'm going to try to cut off as much as possible. And then when I add the super glue, make it nice and hard. I actually pressed it with the scissors and accidentally glued those scissors together, which is too bad because they aren't my scissors. Sorry, Weston. And then the last thing is I'm going to take the super glue and go across the whole piece. That way, when the styrofoam's out, it will hold its shape. So cool. So now I have all these styrofoam balls, and we're going to do the same idea. I got some lace because I didn't want to like make more macrame. I thought maybe if I bought lace, this would work and be a little cute shortcut. So same idea. I just took the super glue and the accelerator, super glued it, and made it as round as possible. And then once I had it kind of good, whatever, I took more super glue and wanted to get each of those strands so that, again, once the styrofoam's out, that it would hold its shape as a little ball. So I did that 3 times with 3 different laces. This one was my favorite because I just like layered it up. It was kind of pretty time consuming, but I thought it looked really cool. So hopefully it works. So now we take this cone, and I was going to cut out the styrofoam and like do it tight up against it and like shape it like a tree, but I thought maybe I just like hang it over there, let it hang naturally, and maybe it'll look cool. So I cut a hole in the middle, put it on like a cute skirt, and I thought, cool, this is looking like a tree kinda. So I just used super glue to try to get it into place, and it started smoking. Because like I said, it reacts with the styrofoam, and I guess it reacted with the paper as well. And that's where the accelerator, that's where the accelerator comes in hand. And I was able to just take the styrofoam out there. I also thought if I coated it with some clear enamel, that would also help hold its shape. So did that. Next up, let's get this styrofoam out of there. But before I get that, Pass Me has something to say. So if you're anything like me, I mean I am you, just future voiceover Shmoxd here. You have done probably the most online shopping you've ever done this season. I've done all my shopping online. And if you're also like me, you're a little bit worried about those companies getting hacked, your card getting hacked, and that brings us to today's sponsor. Privacy.com allows you to make virtual credit cards that link up to your card, that protects all the info on your credit card and that credit card number, and it's absolutely free. You can also set a daily spending limit. You know people aren't gonna use your credit card to buy thousands of millions of things. You can also set it as a one-time use. So setting up a card is super easy. All you need to do is create an account, link up your card or your bank account to these virtual cards, then just add your spending limit and you're good to go. So I set up a card, bought some goodies. What I think I might actually do is set up cards for subscription-based products and maybe even like for free trials so that I never actually buy the free trial things. Yeah, Cool. So if you go to privacy.com/Shmoxd, you can set up your free account, and privacy.com is doing something cool. And if you use that link, they're gonna put $5 towards your first purchase. So just go to this URL right here or in the description and sign up now. Cool. Yeah, why don't you just go ahead and eat all that decoration? Because in like 2 days from now, your dog's gonna eat it all anyways, so cool. All right, so to get out the styrofoam, I just use acetone, and that melts the styrofoam. Kind of the hardest part is because it's just melting down, you'll just get a lot of goop of it down there at the bottom. So I just use a flathead to get as much as I could out. So now let's try those lacy ornaments. So same idea, just pouring acetone all over my hands. Cool, cool, cool. This one had a little hole in the bottom, so you can see how it kind of gooped out. But it wasn't as see-through as I wanted. And I thought maybe that's the lace, I don't know. So I tried it out with the second one, kind of the same result. It was kind of clouding up, not see-through all the way. I thought maybe the styrofoam was like gooping up the lace. Maybe we'll have best luck on this last one. And it like kind of worked. You can see it works in like some spots. But I wanted it to be just like completely see-through. So I took a styrofoam ball and I just cut it in half and just do one half at a time. That way I could get all the styrofoam out in case that was the issue and that was like clogging up all those little holes on the lace. So I got out as much as possible as I could beforehand, then poured some acetone on top, then use a rag to get all of it out. But come to find out, the super glue would like clog up the little holes of the lace, so it wouldn't get that see-through look I was looking for. So I guess the best way to do it is use something with bigger holes, kind of like this macrame. So I just took the extra macrame from the snowman that I made and used that to make the ornament. Using the same technique where I wrapped around and like bunch it together on the top, then make a seam, then turn around and cut off the excess and make a little bunched up part there at the bottom. Then putting super glue all over the whole thing to make it nice and firm, so that when I melt it out with the acetone, it will hold its shape. So I just try to get all the styrofoam out of that little ball and then I let it dry. I wanted to make one more with this. This was cool because it had the little hang downs and I thought that was cool because it's kind of like wall hanging weaves. So I made sure to make it all hard except for that part so that those little strings would hang down. And then I just melted it out, got all the styrofoam out as good as possible. And voila. That looked pretty good. The last final touch would be taking, I stole this from one of my other ornaments, just throwing it on top in one of the holes. And there you go. Got little macrame ornaments. And like I said, you could use this to make other decorations like this snowman here. And also, honestly, a tree. I think the tree would have looked better if I would have like done the same thing where I like shaped a tree out of styrofoam and then melted away. But pretty stoked on how it turned out. I'm also curious to wonder. I'm also curious if Elmer's glue would work instead of super glue, or if that would just melt away with the styrofoam. So that could be fun to do. And like I said, I did not really like that tree, and so I just took it and I turned that also into one of the ornaments. And honestly, I was pretty surprised on how easy that was to do. So if you don't want to make a macrame, you can just go buy a doily from the craft store like I did, and makes a bunch of little ornaments. I think that's how I'm gonna do next year's tree, is I'm just gonna make a bunch of these ornaments out of doilies. But yeah, super stoked on how these turned out and how pretty they were with the light shining through. So be sure to subscribe, like, get that bell notification if you haven't done it, and I should be coming out with a new video next week. I want to get one out before Christmas.